it's having something that you would like to get to, something that you would like to have happen next, so that there's something out there that you're proceeding towards, and that you have the ability to still do that.
Hope is the $1 bill. George Washington lost several battles during the Revolution. Many people thought he was insane to keep on fighting. And although he lost many battles, we all know he won the war.
Find hope as, I don't define hope as necessarily kind of an optimism in a kind of a unrealistic sense, like all of my dreams are going to come true. I define it more in the sense that the world we live in provides for us enough that we need. And the boundaries that we're given are actually maybe helpful in the sense that they guide us in our path, and actually, whether we want it to or not, that's the path that we're guided to, whether we understand it or not. And so I feel that to me, hope is about finding some kind of a comfort in the natural rhythm that the world has already provided, and finding happiness in that.
Resilient is the ability to keep moving towards whatever your goal is.
Resiliency is the light bulb. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 attempts to invent the light bulb before he eventually succeeded, and now his resiliency illuminates the world.
I define resilience as a little bit of a more loaded term, because it implies that there's something that we have to be resilient against. Another word like that to me is like resist. It implies that the person doing the resisting is in the wrong, perhaps, like that everyone else is against them. I like to think that everybody needs to resist against me, you know? I'm right, because I'm a human being and we're all right, you know? So there's not anything to necessarily truly be resistant or resilient against, except that there's obviously hardships that we deal with, so we have to feel resilient. But I think it connects directly to what I was saying about hope. So to me, I guess resilience has to do with kind of getting in touch with that hope thing, and kind of starting to maybe somehow come to terms with the faith that this planet is guiding us along in the right path.
I think ultimately this becomes a historical question. Who kind of did the most stuff that everybody is remembering 500 or 1,000 years later? So this may well be Leonardo da Vinci.
For me, the most resilient person I've ever read about is Harriet Tubman, who, after being struck with a heavy rock and sustaining a heavy concussion, went back several times to the Deep South to bring slaves to freedom.
That's an interesting question. For me to name a specific person, because it's like there's like famous people that I could think of, but I don't know them personally, and then there's people that I know, and there's so many of them. But I work with a lot of teachers, a lot of people that work with communities and struggling communities, and I guess we are always presented with the opportunity to kind of take the easy path or to take the hard path. And I think those who have chosen to take maybe the path of helping others, maybe the more difficult path, when they find joy in that and don't see it as a struggle, but find the beauty in it, and are actually literally able to live every day feeling the love and the humanity of other people, then I think that's the kind of resilience that I really want in my wish I had more of.
I think at this point, since I'm kind of an old coot, and I've been, fighting in the art world for a while, I think what you're hoping for is that you've made a difference, that some of the work that you've done along the way has an effect on people, and that they will be able to basically build on whatever you've done. I mean, they don't have to, if they enjoy it, that's great. But if they learn something from it and then can take another step forward on their own, so much the better.
I hope for a 20-year truce so that we can all focus on improving our climate and making the earth sustainable for future generations.
I live within the realm of hope, and the thing I hope for, I hope will make itself apparent to me as I go, because I'm like kind of let go of that, like what's coming, like bring it, kind of thing. So I hope for what's coming next.